Okay, welcome back. So I got the game set up. This is how you set it up. And we start here in the middle of the desert. And we have our guy, and there is a campfire here. I'm assuming that's a permanent campfire. I don't see anything that says otherwise. And then we are Mike Martin, the chef. And for 1 stamina, if at a fire, spend 1 meat to gain 2 food. We get to do that once per day. We start with 1 food and 1 clean water. We have the ability to make a spear for, looks like a wood and a stone, a water pouch for a fur, and a bola for a stone, okay? I did take some time to scan the rules. I didn't read it, thoroughly. Obviously, we start the game with everything on healthy. Let me start by saying the way you lose the game, or one of the ways, is if you die. And so basically, let's say I'm starving. What I would do is I would move this to the fork and knife, to indicate that I'm hungry, okay? I'm not gonna die if I'm just starving. Now, if I'm also dehydrated, I would move this like so. So now I'm dehydrated. So again, I'm not gonna die. Here, I can do this if I'm sick. And once again, I am not going to die, but if I ever get this 4th one here, which is actually like a wound, like if you take physical damage, and I don't have a dial to move, that's when I die. So if I cure my sickness, and then I take physical damage, I still won't die, because as long as I have a dial to track my condition, I'm alive. Does that make sense? If I ever were to get the 4th condition, then I die. So if I find food and I eat it, I can heal up. And then if I get sick, I just become sick. So these dials aren't dedicated to one particular thing. You just get to have 3 afflictions, if you will. And then the 4th one kills you. Now, the stamina is 12. And I want to point something out that the rules say that I think is interesting. Is, during the night, basically, you spend your stamina to do actions, but you don't have to spend all of it. So you can save stamina for the next day. So one of the key things is, it says that during the night, you're going to get at least 6. Sometimes you'll get more than 6, but you get at least 6. So you can plan for that. Excuse me. You can plan for that. So you don't want to end your turn with 10 stamina left. And because the other thing I forgot to point out is 12 is your maximum stamina. You can't go above 12. So you want to at least get below, you want to spend at least 6 stamina each, or get to 6 or under each day, or otherwise it's not going to be any good. Now, if you're playing multiple players, you're not going to start with 12. This is for solo. You start with the maximum if you're playing by yourself. So some things, it does have a chart and it changes based on the number of players. Also, I mentioned a rock, paper, scissors thing, which isn't entirely true. This isn't for attacking other players, it's for supporting other players. So you could actually be in the same space as somebody, and then you can play these cards to support that player in their battle that they're having. So anyways, that's, I want to point that out. I was just guessing when I first saw them, and I did read the rules that explains that. So each round is going to be broken up by a day phase and a night phase. I just read for you that the night phase is guaranteed to have a minimum of 6 stamina restored. There's a lot of things that happen at night, and it's going to be unique for the card that we draw. So we're going to draw a card, and then it just says, read it from top to bottom. So we have to just do whatever it says. I've never played a game of this, so I can't even tell you what to expect. But we're going to just roll with it, okay? There's a lot of actions. And I have not read all the action details. I just wanted to go over some of the highlights. There is combat in this game, and we'll read that closer when we actually have to do combat. There is a carry limit of 10. So right now, we are carrying 2 items, okay? I can only carry 10 total. And if I were to make a spear, that would count as 1. This is a project card, so I haven't made anything yet. But let's say I did make this, that would count as 1 of my 10, okay? Beyond that, I think we can dive in. there is a really awesome reference sheet on the back of your terrain. And so it does have some nice, frequently overlooked rules. But the first thing is here's all the symbols. So you can see salvage here and dirty water versus clean water, meat versus food, stone, wood, and medicine. Okay, this is all the actions we get to do on our turn, and I'll go over those in a second. And these are the 4 terrain types, and then this is how much stamina it costs to move on them. So the mountains, of course, being the worst. The actions all cost 1 stamina unless specified. And I can tell you that when you're in combat, even though it's not on here, the stone and the wood and the salvage actually give you benefits. You'd have to spend them. So it's you're going to roll a die for yourself and a die for the enemy, and the stone would let you get to re-roll a die, or the wood would make you. I think the stone lets you re-roll the enemy die, and then the wood lets you re-roll your own die. And I can't remember what salvage does, but they all have some of these resources give you a benefit during combat, where you get to, say I didn't like that die roll, and then you get to re-roll them again. Okay, here's our actions in a nutshell. Move and gather. So move is an action, gather is another action, because you can see right here there's gather, but you can move and gather, which is all considered one action. So that's super duper cool, but there is something down here that says that if you use an ability that moves a survivor, you don't get to do a gather. So that would be a situation where you would just do a gather by itself. Gather, of course, means you're on a spot that has wood. So here. So this would be like a gather situation. So you got a spot here with rocks, and then you would flip it over to see what you get. Okay. Scout. That means revealing the map tiles. So it costs you 1 stamina to do that, and you have to be adjacent to wherever you're revealing. The monsters do not move on unrevealed map tiles, by the way. They will move around them. Resolve an exploration card. Okay, so we don't have any of those yet, but we can resolve one with investigate. Craft is how we can make our spear, for example. If we have a wood and a stone, we can make a spear. That's an example of craft. And the important thing is we get to draw another project card. So we're always going to have 3 projects, unless we run out, actually build the entire deck somehow. Trade, we're not going to use, because that requires another survivor. And then cook meat is actually the thing we have the special ability for. We can, once per day, create 2 food instead of 1 for that meat. And we can restart a fire, which I don't think we have to do with this particular spot. And then recover. So remember those damage meters I was telling you about. You can recover a starvation by eating a food, a dehydration by spending a water. I know your mind's probably blown by this. And then sickness by spending a medicine. And if you'll notice, none of the physical damage is recoverable. Heal 1 damage from you. So I think, let's look that one up, because I think the physical damage, maybe you just heal 1, period. You don't need any special items. And that's what the surgeon was going to help out with, is healing physical damage. And of course we can loot, which this usually is from a casualty as another player died. If you're playing multiple players, this is pretty ruthless. If somebody dies, other players keep playing, and their win or loss conditions is not dependent on everybody surviving. Okay, if you suffer 4 damage, you're eliminated, and it's of any type. So I guess you could possibly have 2 sicknesses, I guess. You could have a sickness and then another sickness. I didn't think about that. So my apologies there. I might have explained that wrong. After crafting a project from hand, draw a new project card. And if ability is used to move a survivor, blah, blah, blah. Each survivor has a limit of 10, and quest items count. And then it shows combat steps, but this is like 2 pages in the rule book. All right, so let's go ahead and just get started. I will keep these rules close by and handy. And as you can see, we are in the middle of the desert, and there is absolutely nothing in our space other than just wasteland. These are 1 stamina, and then those are 2 stamina to move through. And it did say that if we're not at our campfire during the night, we may, and the key word is may, have to draw a threat token or threat card. It depends on our nighttime card and what it says. The other thing, just to point out, this is desert, so I'm trying to think thematically here, that I'm sort of glad that I can make 2 meat out of 1, because I'm thinking that there's not going to be a lot of animals to harvest. And I'm also thinking that this water pouch would be a pretty darn awesome thing to build. Because water is probably going to be very hard to come by on this, but I don't know. I have no clue. So let's go ahead and go. I have 12 stamina, and for my first one, I'm going to... So if I do a move, how many spaces? Oh, it just costs stamina, that's right. So this was, this is 1 stamina to move there. So I would move this down to 11. And then I'm going to spend a stamina to explore this space. So I'm going to flip this over, like so. And I'm going to try to be consistent and flip like this. And so I already got some pretty cool things. I have no idea what these are, let's zoom in. So there you can see I have an animal paw, so I'm going to grab an animal token. So one of these, without looking at what's on the other side, I'm going to put that there. And then there's a wood token. And so I'm just going to grab one of those and put it down, like so. And then 24. So I'm assuming what I would do then is I'm going to grab 24 from this deck. And the question is can I look at it now, or do I have to go there and investigate? I think I have to go there and investigate, but I'm going to just put this right up here for now. And because that's what the investigate, resolve an exploration card matching the number of landmark in your space. So I would have to be at that space to resolve the card. Does it get revealed right away? That's the part I'm interested in. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about revealing the card. So so I think we did this right. So I'm allowed to pull out the card, obviously, and set it aside, but we don't know what it says or what it does. That's a mystery. And then, of course, this is 2 stamina for us to be able to get over through that. I think I want to explore this while I'm here, and then I'll figure out if I want to go this way or that way. So I'm going to spend 2 more, or I'm sorry, 1 more. I'm down to 10, and we're going to reveal this one. So I'm going to back up the camera here, and let's reveal this one. And I think I agreed I'm going to flip like this every time. So I am doing that, and there's another animal. So we're going to grab one of those, and it goes there. All right, well, that animal looks like it's not easy to get to. I will spend 2 more. I do want to get fur to make this water pouch. I also think we need to find water, which makes me not sure I want to just start, grabbing stuff off of tiles. But what I'm going to do is I am going to spend 2 to go there, and then I'm going to do what they call the move and gather. So I'm going to move 1, which moves me down to 7, and gather, so it's just 1 action. So it cost me just 1 stamina to do both. And we have here looks like a rhino, holy cow. Okay, and then it says 66. So I think a battle or a combat's going to happen immediately. So just give me a second, bear with me here. Some card spawn monster tokens, but that's for monster tokens. But what about... Yeah, so, okay, so we're going to have to resolve this. So it has a number 66 on it. So then you take this deck and let's find 66 and reveal that. So there's a battle that's going to happen. So his defense is 7, his attack is 10, and then his health is 3. I need to do 3 damage to him to kill him. Combat is not something... Okay, it's not an action. It's going to happen right now, and there's a lot to it. But one of the important things that I want to explain is that you have these 2 dice. So I'm going to roll the gray die, and if my gray die is higher than this 7, right, then I damage him. If this red die is a 10 or higher, he damages me. That's how that works. And then it says that if I have a wood, I get to re-roll the gray die, a stone re-rolls the red, a poison adds a +1 to the gray die, and a salvage adds -1 to the red. Okay, so if the gray die is equal or greater than the enemy's defense, the enemy is dealt 1 damage. And then, of course, if he has 3 damage here, he dies. So that's the thing there. And then if the red die is greater than or equal to the enemy's attack value, then we suffer a physical damage. And if it has a minus sign, that means they can't damage us at all. If enemy was not defeated, the enemy tokens retreats as described below. Okay, so combat ends after this step, even if the enemy was not defeated. So it looks like we just do 1 round. And then we would have to, like wherever it retreats to, we'd have to move into that same space to do another attack round. Okay, if a survivor fails to defeat an enemy, the enemy retreats. When an enemy retreats, its token remains face up and is moved in an adjacent space that matches the number showing on the red die, and then you use this to guide you. The token cannot retreat off the map onto an unexplored map tile or a survivor space. If this would happen, the combatant chooses a space adjacent. Okay, some cards allow survivors to escape combat. And then, of course, this is when other players are supporting combat. And that's it. And they got a small little example here, which is fine. Some enemy cards are labeled as lethal, which signifies that the enemy keeps fighting until it's defeated. This one does not have any keywords. It's a rhinoceros. So we're going to do 1 battle, and then he's going to leave. And then he has 3 health, so I would have to do 3 battles with him to defeat him. There's no way to defeat him this round. Because we're only going to do 1 damage to him. And then I don't know how we track damage. That's another weird thing. I think that's what this is for. I would put these on him to show he took a damage. Okay, so I have hardly anything to modify this die, so we're just going to roll. The one thing that I want to point out, though, is the 3 meat is excellent, but right there, 2 pelts, which will help us with our water pouch. We probably do want to get him, but anyways, so I'm going to set this down here, and then we're going to go ahead and roll, because we have to roll at least once. All right, so you can see I got a 1 for him, and then I'm bringing this out. I got a 10. So we did do a damage. Our 10, the 10 was higher than the 7, and even with a 5, he didn't get to a 10. Okay, so so we do a damage to him. So I'm going to put this on the card to show that he has 1 damage, and then with the 5, we just look at this thing up here. And you can see that a 5 is that direction. So it's going to move towards the southeast. And so what we do is we take this token and we move it like that. And so he ran away. basically. And that token moving like that, it stays face up. You get to always know that that's the rhinoceros at 66. Okay? All right, so that's that, and I'm just going to set this off the map, and it just stays there until somebody defeats it, of course. At this point, I would love to make the water pouch and all that jazz, but I still need water, and I'm more interested in exploring right now and just getting other resources. It could be the wrong choice. I have no idea. That's what's weird about this game and also fun. The other thing is I just have a huge curiosity about 24 there. And so I am going to go and let's just see what it does. So I'm going to spend one action and let's go to this pyramid. And let's see what happens. And if I die, we'll have a quick video session. 24 is not there. Okay, what did I do wrong? I do not have a 24. Right there, 23 and then 25. Oh boy. Oh, I'm such a goober. All right, for those of you screaming into the video, I heard you, I heard you. I already took the card out. Okay, anyways, thank you for having a great sense of humor. That's the way I'm going to put it. All right, 24, right here, the card that I proactively set out because I thought I was being smart at the time. Let's see what it says. This, by the way, there was some flavor text that we woke up and we don't know how we got here. I should have read that to you and I apologize. That's our scenario. Let's talk about that real quick. It's 1972, April 1972. It's an old game. You find an old journal bound in cracking leather. Someone was here before you, making their own notes on the surrounding terrain and wondering how to get home. The journal is still more or less intact. It can't have been lying here, exposed to the elements for very long. The last entry sparks your interest. Tomorrow, I head towards the plume of smoke on the horizon. Hopefully there is a sign of civilization and will lead me home. After a survivor investigates landmark number 1, advance to stage 2. So I don't know what landmark number 1 is, but I'm assuming that I will once we find it. Okay, so this massive stone tomb is still intact. Hieroglyphs cover the walls, and a white skull is painted atop them. Roll a die on a 10 to 12. Resolve exploration card number 56. Okay, so yeah, they're both 12-sided dice. It's just one's bigger than the other. Okay, I was getting confused for a second. I was like, which die? But they're both the same. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just roll this gray die. And a 10 to 12 is not good odds, but let's see. So I got a 7. I'm assuming that as long as I want to keep spending stamina, I can just keep repeating this until I get a 10 to 12. So I'm going to just set this down and decide, do I want to just spend the night here and keep getting this? There's a part of me that wants to. Largely because once I move on, I don't want to spend movement points to come back to this place. Fine. I'm going to spend another stamina. I'm going to go down to 5. Let's see if we can get this. And there it is. I rolled a 10. Okay, that was lucky, folks. But let's see. Resolve exploration card number 56. So I'm going to set this aside. And there are 2 56s. What was I supposed to do with that? Or does it... Maybe because there's 2... Oh, I think it's fine, and I just pick one. All cards in the exploration deck that have the same number are identical, excluding some of the cards that are removed from the deck during setup. Okay, so it says they're identical, so it doesn't matter which one. Let's make sure. Yep, they are. So we're just going to grab one of them. And what do we get? We got a Skull code book. This book is full of cramped writing in many languages. It appears to be a series of codes and ciphers. Utility. When you would resolve a card that has the phrase White Skull, you may instead resolve the card 3 numbers higher. Very interesting. Okay, so that counts as one of our items. We're now carrying 3 items. I'm at 5 stamina, and now the question becomes, where do I go? And so here's my first gripe with the game. This is 1, that's 1. Is this 1 or is that 2? Because this is 2. And see how it has a little bit of this? I mean, do I just say that this is 1 because it's mostly? Yeah, I don't like that. But I'm not going to nitpick over it. And I'm going to say it's 1 because it's mostly the other type of terrain. So the question becomes, do I want to run back to the fireplace or fire pit? So that'd be 1, 2, 3 more stamina to get there. But then I would be safe and not have to draw a threat token or anything like that. I'm feeling like I don't want to. I'm going to keep spending stamina though. I'm going to spend 1 more stamina to go here and then 1 more stamina to explore this tile. So let's do that. And we got another wood. Like so. Okay, I have 3 left. And so I'm going to backtrack and spend 1 and then 2 to move and gather, and then 3, I'll end my turn there with 0 stamina. So let's see what we got. We got a wood, so that's good. I will carry the wood. I'm trying to, okay, so apparently when I get this, there's a wood token somewhere else that I need to grab. I just don't see it yet. Holy cow, how are these so... All right, so there's the wood token. So I'm gonna grab that. And I guess, I don't know what I do with this. I mean, do I put it back in the pool? I'm gonna say yes. I'll put it back in the pool of random stuff. Okay, now I'm at the end. So what it says that we do at the end is we then draw a nighttime card, which is this. So I'm going to reveal this, and it says thirst. Each survivor either spends 1 water or suffers 1 thirst damage. I do have a water, so I will spend it. And for good or bad, each survivor gains 8 stamina. So I'm going to go from 0 up to 8. Okay. Place a stone feature token from the supply on each space with a stone icon. So basically it's a replenishment. We don't have any. And then patrol. Move each monster token 2 spaces towards the nearest survivor. If there's no normal monsters on the map, spawn 1 in the lowest number landmark. Okay, so this is going to move 2 spaces, and we're going to do another combat, which is sort of fine because I do want to kill the thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess we could eventually roll bad. Okay, so let's roll here. I have a rhinoceros for 66. And we'll get this out. So remember, 7 and 10. The gray die is what needs to beat the 7. This we want to have less than 10. And of course you can't see it. 11 and 5. So we just did another damage. All right, that was really good. Okay, and then per the combat rules, it's going to move based on whatever 5 is. And the 5, once again, it's this way. And we can't, because they can't go in the unexplored, so they said we get to decide, so we're going to move it just 1 down like that. All right, so now it's day 2, and we get to go and keep going. We only have 8 stamina, we don't have 12, and I'm going to spend 1, and let's see if we can finish off this animal. And I'm not going to get the the dice tower. It's too much. Let's just roll. And that was close, but not enough. And I'm rolling really well today. So I was able to kill this thing. And because I did 3 damage. And so we're going to get 3 meat and 2 pelts. So here's 2 pelts. And then as far as meat goes, I'm trying to find it. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm carrying 8 items right now. So we got to be mindful of that. I'm carrying 8 items because I have 3 meat, 2 of these. That's 5, 6, 7, and this is 8. Okay, so that was one action, and now I'm going to spend another action to do what's called craft. So I'm going to spend a pelt to get item 89. Why not? I'm a little excited to just try everything in the game. Don't know if this was a priority at this point, but anyways, I'm going to spend this, and then I'm going to grab item 89 from this deck. And it's this one. And then don't forget, it's even in the don't forget section, we get another project card. So now we have a wooden cage. And then 89 is the water pouch. When you gain a resource from a water source, gain an additional of that type. You can carry 4 water on this card. Remember, this card counts as one of our items. So now we can carry 4 water, and it only counts as 1 towards our 10 limit. So that's really, really cool. So if we ever find our water resource, which is still my top priority, even though you see me letting myself get distracted. This is the way I play 7th Continent as well. Okay, so I'm going to move down 1 more stamina, and we're going to explore this tile. And I'm going to do it right here in this. Oh no, it's just explore. I don't have to move yet. Okay, so we got a nice stone tile, and we put that there. And then we have number 20. I'm not going to pull the card out. I will pull it out once we get there. Okay, I'm going to go to 4, and let's move and get the stone. So we get 1 stone. So I need to sort my tiles better, because for whatever reason, I'm having such a hard time finding stone when I just had a hard time finding something else. There we go. All right, so I got a stone, and we now have enough to build a bola, which is a defense item, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to spend another 1 to go there, and then another 1, so I'm down to 2 stamina now to reveal this one. And boom, we got an oasis here. I'm very excited about that. So there's a wood item. And then whatever this, these are like just shrubbery bushes. So anyways, there's that. And I have 2 stamina, and so I'm going to just do a move and grab, move and grab. So move and grab, move and grab. And I'm going to go here and then there. So let's grab them. So we get a water, yay, and then we get 2 wood. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so let me look at this. When you gain a resource from a water source, I don't consider that to be a water source. That was a just something that I was able to get water from. But I am going to put the water on the water pouch, so it counts towards that. And then I get 2 wood. And yeah, I'm having sorting issues here. My apologies. I really do need to sort this now. What's on the other side of wood? More wood. So why am I having such a hard time finding it? There we go. All right, so I got another wood. So our situation at the moment is we are carrying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 items. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have to get rid of one. I think for now I'm going to get rid of a wood. I was going to say it, and then I'm actually going to get rid of a meat. I know it sounds crazy, but since I can make 2 meat at a fire, I'm going to just go ahead and, or 2 food at a fire, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of a meat, because I'm just not sure how often I'm going to get other resources in this game. So anyways, that's it, and I'm out. So the move and gather, I probably maybe didn't want to do that, but I wasn't expecting to get 2 wood from that one space, and I'm super curious about getting some water here. So with that being said, we are at the end of the round again, and I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, it says, so there's feature tokens, and then there's resource tokens, and then there's water source. So, for example, it says this is a face-up water source token. I don't have a water source token. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. That's what this is. So that would be a, well, this is a dirty water, but you know what I mean. This one would be a water source token, face-up. Okay, so we just didn't find any yet. All right, okay, that makes sense. And then during nighttime, oh, why did I miss it? During the night phase, we're gonna draw that card again. Okay, so now the rules are clear that these go into like what's a discard pile, but if you ever run out of cards, because remember there's these blue cards and then there's these red cards, only the red cards are gonna get reshuffled. So once you get to the red cards, these blue cards are like one time and then they never happen again. So thirst, each survivor spends 1 water or suffers 1 damage. And I actually have 1 water, so I'm going to spend it. And we're getting quite lucky, in fact. Deep sleep. Each survivor at a fire gets 9, otherwise you get 7. So we only get 7. So move that up to 7. And then inspiration. The tribe leader draws 1 project card. So we are the tribe leader. So we get a torch. So for a wood and a fire, we can get 91. So we now have 4 of those projects. Move each monster's token 2 spaces. If there are no monster tokens on the map, spawn 1 at the lowest numbered landmark. Okay, so I may need help with what does it mean to spawn 1, and I'm guessing that means I'm going to draw 1 of these. So I'm going to go to the lowest number landmark, which is 24 here. So he's coming out of the pyramids. He's creepy. Oh, nope, there's a 20 over here. So, so I spawned that monster and we're done. So that's pretty good. Round 3. We only have 7 stamina. We're gonna spend 2. We were for sure going to number 30 here. So I'm gonna spend 2, go here, and let's see what 30 gives us. All right, here is 30. Uh-oh, mirage. Throat is dry and sandy as the dunes around you. You stagger towards the water. You see glimmering in the distance. Your mind seems to drift and blow like sand on the wind. resolve exploration card number 32. So I'm going to grab 32 now. This isn't good. Stinky Mirage. Wandering, no matter how hard you try, you cannot catch the Mirage. Move up to 3 spaces. Okay, we're not allowed to like search while, or reveal tiles while we're doing this. So we can move 3 spaces. The terrain doesn't matter because it's not stamina. So the question becomes, do we want to like move to the edge here and get some of these higher numbered tiles? I have no clue. Like what the strategy is. Should we go after the, like, are these 1 tiles like lower difficulty, and so therefore you want to do those first, and then once you level up and get stronger, you know, is this like Runebound in that regard? Or I have no clue, but I get to move 3 spaces. I don't really want to move towards that monster. So I wanted to explore this tile down here, so I think what I'm going to do is just go 1, 2, 3 and wander to that corner. Okay, so I'm at 5 stamina, and I'm going to just spend 1 at a time. I'm at 4, and I think I'm going to just start revealing all 3 of these since I'm connected to all 3. So I'm going to reveal the 4 tile first. Let's see what it gives us. So there's this number 1, and our quest says, after a survivor investigates landmark number 1, I think that's what that means. Advance to stage 2. So you can see here that there's a number 1 written there. I think that's landmark number 1. I really do. I think that's actually our objective. So I wasn't planning on going this way, but I think we just revealed our objective. So I have 4 stamina left, so I am going to spend 2 more to walk there. So 1, 2. And then I'm going to spend 1 more to investigate. And I think I was supposed to spend 1 to investigate here, so I'm actually at 0. So let's do number 1. The ancient hunt looks like it once hosted an archaeological expedition. There's a gem-shaped socket in the floor. Resolve card number 3. What I don't understand is why I have to go straight to card number 3 when card number 1 barely told me anything. That part confuses me about this game. Why not just put both of these in 1 card? But anyways, stone tablet, I guess this is why. A stone tablet lies in a trestle table. It is engraved with text in several languages, enabling translation. Master key, when you would resolve a card that has the word hieroglyphs, you may instead resolve the card 2 numbers higher. So we actually have 2 decrypto things, which is cool. The problem is we now have to get rid of an item. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have to get rid of another item, so I'm going to get rid of a wood. And I think I need to start crafting some things that spend... I'm going to take that wood back. I'm going to get rid of another meat. Okay, so I'm out of stamina, so no matter what, I have to stop. So we're going to go and draw another nighttime card. Hunger. Each survivor spends 1 food or suffers 1 damage. I do have 1 food, so I'm spending that. And each survivor gains 8. I like that. And I'm going to stop. I just realized we moved to card number 2. We already resolved quest 1. So stage 1 is finished. Now we're on to stage 2. So stage 2, in the building you discover a boxy old radio complete with microphone and headset. After a few hours you manage to get the thing to work and call for help. Roger that, crackles a voice in your headset. We read you and rescue is en route. Sit tight. It will take our team 4 or 5 days to get there. Over and out. Discard all Tier 1 night cards and then shuffle all Tier 2 night cards into the deck and discard the top card. After resolving a night card, if there are 0 cards in the night stage deck, advance to stage 3. Okay, so this thing that we just did, where we spent hunger, I'm taking it back because all the blue cards are gone. That's what it's saying. So you got to get rid of all these. And then we go to the red cards and get rid of one of those. So that's just discarded. It's not, we didn't get rid of it. It's just a discard. And then, so we have 5 of those. And now, because I'm out of stamina, we're going to draw the top one of these. So the blue cards, I think, were much kinder. I think we're going to get punished hard with this. So, so let me get this out. Spoiled food. Each survivor discards 1 food or 1 meat. I will discard the food. Each survivor either spends 1 water or suffers 1 damage. So I have no water left, so I am now dehydrated. Sleep. Each survivor gets 8 stamina. That's the same as last time. Each survivor not at a fire and not adjacent to a monster must spawn 1 monster adjacent to their space. Okay, so I'm spawning a monster here, and I will put it there in the hills. Since it's adjacent to my space, I don't think I have to do anything with that. And we're going to be off to the next day. So this is like, it's vegetation, but see, it looks like a food. See that there? And we got a water from it last time. So I am going to spend 1 stamina to go get this. And it says 28. So that was like a move and gather is what I did. So this is very interesting. I didn't even know we had these. So I think it's an exploration that I'm going to draw. So I'm going to look for 28. Yep, there's a 28 in here. And we got a reed flute. The grass is fluttering in the breeze. Sing with music. You fashion a simple musical instrument from them. For 1 stamina, we can move each, each wildlife feature token within 3 spaces of you, 1 space towards you. So it's like a Pied Piper thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This 10 carry limit thing is very frustrating, by the way. I think I want, so here's my situation. I still don't have water. And I want to go back to the campfire, but I need water. So I'm going to spend 1 more to flip here. And we got another one of those food looking tokens. And that's there. I'm going to spend a stamina to move here, and then another stamina to reveal this one. And we got an animal and another landmark. I'm at 4 stamina now, so I'm going to go down to 3 stamina to go here, and then 2 stamina to reveal this. And I have a wood token, a stone token, and it looks like one of those food tokens. And then this little, oh, I'm sorry, you can't even see what I'm seeing here. And then we revealed these like binoculars. What on earth is that? Okay, so the binoculars, some spaces have red objective icons printed on them. These icons have no game effect unless they're referred to by card abilities. So we have no cards asking us to find an objective. So I'm down to 2 stamina, so I'm going to spend 1 to move here, and then I'm going to do a last one here. I'm going to spend a wood and a stone to make a spear, and some of this is largely to protect myself from these monsters that are near me, but the other reason is it gets rid of 2 items in my inventory. I mean, I know I'm going to get another item, but so first of all, we can make a pickaxe now. And the spear is 92. Twice per combat, you may re-roll your die. So I already like it. So anyways, we have a bunch of items there. Like, I don't know, like, can I get rid of the reed flute? Can I just drop it to the ground? That's a question. I think I can. I'm gonna look at that in between videos because this reed flute is not useful to me and it's just consuming one of my inventory slots. But 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm at 9 and I'm out of stamina again. And so we're gonna draw another one of these. Spilled water. Each survivor discards 1 water. I don't have any. Each survivor spends a food or suffers 1 hunger damage. So our problem is I don't have any food. So now I have hunger damage. So I'm now damaged in 2 places. Each survivor gains 8 stamina. And if you're not at a fire, you draw a threat card. Okay, so I have to draw a threat card. A threat card is one of these smaller cards, okay? So we draw a threat card, and if it says the word tribal on it, if you're playing by yourself, like because everybody's dead, or if you're playing solo, you have to draw a different one, okay? Just ignore the tribal ones. In your dream, your legs are pumping and you're happily running toward danger. Move to the nearest monster token. If there's no monster tokens in your map, spawn one in your space. Okay, so that stinks. Just making room for my discard here. So it says move to the nearest monster, so that would be this one. And I guess we're going to be doing battle right now. So I have 79. So we're going to grab this, find 79. I got Treasure Hunter. His white skull lapel pin clashes with his leather coat and fedora. At the start of combat, you may discard 1 treasure item to defeat this enemy and resolve exploration card number 56. It has the word skull written on it. It's interesting, but he has 3 health. And we, of course, are going to do battle. And remember, our spear says twice per combat, you may re-roll your die. So I rolled a 10, he rolled a 12. So he's going to damage me unless I spend I think it's a stone, which I don't have. So that is not helpful. So he damages me, and now I'm in very bad shape. I now have all 3 dials with damage. If I take 1 more damage of any kind, I die and lose the scenario. I damage him, which is fine. So he takes 1 damage, and then his 12 says that he moves there. What's interesting is it doesn't say you have to discard a treasure item to defeat him and resolve exploration card 56. But if I defeat him by killing him, I don't think I get anything. Or do I still get 56? I want to, because it says right here, his white skull lapel. I think I would get to resolve 56. Now here's the interesting thing. This is card 56. So we already know you're going to get the Skull Codebook. It says when you would resolve a card that has the phrase white skull, you may instead resolve the card 3 numbers higher. So I think I would be able to get 59 if I defeat him. So we now move on to the next turn. And I still don't have water. I do have a meat, but I have to go cook it at the campfire, which is like 2 tiles away. And I have 8 stamina. I'm going to move for 1 stamina into his space. I want to kill him and see what we get. And I died. He just did damage to me, and I missed him. Obviously, I could re-roll, right? twice, which I missed all 3 times, but he did damage to me, and I don't have an ability to take more damage, so I just lost the scenario. Now, to advance to the 3rd quest, I had to make it survive 3 more nights, right? So once I drew all these cards, then we would have gone to stage 3. After resolving a night card, if there's 0 cards in the night deck, advance to stage 3, and then we would have did whatever stage 3 said. So I still had a ways to go. And yes, did I need to carelessly attack something? No, I did not. I could have, tried to make this wooden cage. One of the things I'm wondering is, can I at least peek to see what a wooden cage does? I know what I have the projects. I mean, can I at least come over here and, look at what a 93 is and say, oh yeah, that's something I think I want to make, right? That's my question. So I'm going to look that up. I think the answer is yes to that. I think what I don't get to peek at is like, what would I have gotten if I would have killed this explorer, right? I don't get to peek at that. But obviously, if you've played this scenario a few times, you might already know, because you're going to have this skull codebook and whatnot, and then you basically get to find better items. But anyways, my friends, I've already lost scenario 1, the easiest scenario in the game, and I at least learned enough that I'm going to read the rules, and I'm sure some of you will comment if I got something wrong. I think the one thing I realized while I was playing is when I move into one of these locations, that's 1 stamina. It's another stamina to investigate. And I did catch that, but I think there were a few spots you might notice I got it wrong. If there's anything else, please very kindly let me know. Obviously, if you're watching this 3 weeks later, I probably will have already figured it out by then. But I'm actually going to go through and read the rules a little more closely, see if there's anything I missed. But I think for the most part, I got the gist of this. We found no water, other than, getting lucky on that 1 tile. It was a food tile. There's a lot of tiles here we haven't revealed. I think, so for example, that's another objective one. There's 2 more stone. There's a food, a wood, a landmark 4, another objective, and right there, that's the only water source tile in the game, and it's behind number 3. So, I mean, am I cheating for knowing that this is behind 3? I'm telling you, when you punch the pieces, you're going to know this, right? But anyways, tile number 3 is the only water source in the game. So the next time we play, we're going to want to reveal the 3s, but look at what the crafty designer did. He put the 3s on the opposite corners of the map. So even when you know that, you're still going to get a 25% chance you pick the right corner to go to. So, very brutal, the desert. You got to get that water. Yeah, I lost the game. Thank you for watching. I will definitely be playing some more and trying to include you on as many of those as I can. I do have an 18xx game scheduled for tomorrow morning, so I'm not sure if I will get any more in this evening. But that is Discover Lands Unknown, and it has beaten me. So let me see if we can figure out something better. I do like this chef. I'm not sure I like him as much as I initially did. Let's look at these again. So you can gain a food anytime you go into a wood space. Okay, that's neat. During combat, you may spend poison, salvage, stone, or wood as if it was any other type of resource. Okay, that's flexible. Choose yourself or another survivor and roll a die. On an 8 to a 12, you get to heal one of those physical damages. Okay. You may perform restart fire without spending wood. Oh yeah, so we could have... That's only to light an unlit fire. So I don't think we can just light fires anywhere we want. So must require a fire spot? I don't know, I'll look that up. Spend 1 wood, 1 stone, or 1 salvage to roll a die. On a 3 to 12, you get to add 87 to the roll and gain that item number, item card with that number plus 87. So if I rolled a 3, for example, I'm basically getting item number 90 out of the project deck. I think this is neat, but man, oh man, you can only carry 10 items. Used car salesman, I think, is useless because this lets you take items from other survivors. So when you're playing solo, don't ever take the used car salesman. You may spend poison as if it were medicine. I think that's neat, but we didn't even deal with poison. After an enemy retreats, when you are a combat or supporter, you may move to that token space and immediately resolve another combat. I actually think that one is useful. Your carry limit is increased by 6. I am actually starting to love Mr. Beef McCain here. When you gain a resource from a water source, gain an additional resource. I like it, especially on the desert. He might be my favorite character. Move up to 4 spaces, moving only on the spaces with a stamina of 1 once per day. I like Tasha. During combat, if your die is showing 1 to 3, you may turn it to a 12. I like it, except I don't want to get hit. So I want something that modifies the red die more than my own. But anyways, very interesting. I think I definitely have a clear favorite in here, and then maybe even a runner-up. I know I said thank you for watching about 10 minutes ago. I am not going to allow myself to get distracted anymore. I will say goodbye. Thanks for watching.